We should be live on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? Another windy day here in beautiful Redwood City, California. I was going to go to a different trail today, but I ran out of time. I had so much to do this morning, so much clerical work to do. And while I'm really good at the clerical work, and to a certain extent I enjoy the clerical work, I more so enjoy doing these shows and being here with you folks. But without the clerical work and taking care of other things that allow you to do this, this would not be possible. So, sometimes you have those days where you have to spend the first half of your day or 2/3 of your day taking care of clerical stuff such as bills, such as updates on your computer, your laptop, and other stuff like that. I call those days, it is what it is. That's just a part of life. Got a lot of cars coming in right now. It's going to probably be pretty busy around this area here because it is almost 4:30 p.m. Pacific, and it is rush hour. And typically around this time, people will come out on the trail, like some high schools and colleges will come out in large groups and run on the trail. So it is what it is. I should do a stream at some point called It Is What It Is. All right. We're just going to wait about 5 or 10 minutes before we get right into it. So far, none of my moderators are here. That's okay. You're probably all very busy. Sun's already starting to come down. So, it's going to start to get darker sooner, and at some point it'll start getting dark before 5, and it'll be pitch black at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. So again, that's why I want to more so start to move these walking streams to the daytime. But sometimes I have clerical work, and I can either cancel the stream for that day when I have clerical work, which is typically done in the morning, or do it in the evening. We'll just play it by ear. That's how I do a lot of things, folks. I play it by ear, and that's going to also come into play regarding the topic today. Regarding being content. Being content is key to self-improvement. We'll get more into that in a little bit. I'm going to just I'm going to keep going. There's a gentleman coming behind me, so I'm just going to keep on moving. There are some people on the trail that are running. I'm going to just hang on a second right here and show you folks the sun in this little pool of water. It's just so beautiful. Such a nice spot. That gentleman's going on the other side of the trail. Who's that? The Queen is here. That sun's right in my eyes, Queen. You're good. Topic. Got it, Queen. Thank you so much. How are you doing today, Queen? How's your day going so far? At some point down the road, Queen, I think you and I and maybe another person or two could do like some type of political show. I think it would be very interesting. Now, we would not be able to do this on YouTube, at least not on a monetized channel. It would have to be, if it was going to be on YouTube, it would have to be on a non-monetized channel, and I've got plenty of those. I mean, I've got one main backup channel, but I've got so many channels that people didn't even know of, where I could just, that are all verified and ready to stream on and all that kind of stuff. You know, got those for a rainy day. Even though I don't push the guidelines or the boundaries on this main channel here, my monetized channel. But at some point, maybe we can create something like that. But if we're going to do that, I'm going to donate a few things to you first, Queen. I'm going to send you the right equipment, such as some headphones and adapters and microphones that would work with your mobile devices to give you great audio quality. I am doing okay. I am really tired because I've been up all night with the cats. Yeah, I know one of your cats isn't doing too well, huh, Queen? God bless her. I think it's a female, if I remember correctly. I hope your pets are doing okay, Queen. But I understand. I haven't had my own dog since my younger days. We had a family, half German Shepherd, half Temper Wolf, 80-pound dog. Great dog, very protective, very friendly, but if he didn't know you, he would bark and he would want to bite your nuts off. But anyway, I get how it goes. Today's stream is just going to be a really nice, laid back and chill stream. I'm going to do my best to not really talk about any political stuff or anything. I've been kind of doing that on the past few walking streams, and you know, when I start talking about politics, you know, my blood pressure starts to rise, and I just want to chill out today. I've had a lot of work to do, like I said. I had a lot of clerical work to do on my computer and around my place earlier today. And I just wanted to end the day by doing this nice laid-back walk for you folks and really try to help you understand what I mean by this topic, and you know, how being content and getting to a level of being content can tremendously improve your life. And most people just don't understand this, or they understand the concept, they just don't understand how it can apply to them. This can apply to anyone, folks. And we'll get to that in just a few here. Before we get to that, last night I recorded 2 approximately half-hour long pre-recorded videos, a 2-part series regarding the truth about why people are getting divorced in the modern world. I released part 1 last night, and about an hour or 2 after this show ends, I'll be releasing part 2. So check that out. Like I mentioned yesterday on my stream, if you want to find out more about the direction where I'm taking my content on YouTube and even some other platforms, go watch my walking stream from yesterday. Watch the beginning, first 15-20 minutes. I shared in detail where I'm headed. But to kind of sum it up again, I'm going to be doing at least one walking live stream, one walking with purpose live stream every day, if not almost every day. I mean, of course, I'm going to take a day off or 2 every now and then. But whenever I'm in town and I have no plans for that day, or any major plans or anything, And even if I do, if I can fit in a walk, I'll do it. But unless I'm out of town or have some major plans where I need extra time to get ready and can't do a walk for that day, you'll get a Walking with Purpose stream almost every day. And those streams are going to eventually, hopefully starting by tomorrow, start earlier, like in the morning, at least in the morning on the West Coast where I'm at. I'm going to try to get them going at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And then I'm going to try to give you folks at least one 30-minute, 35-minute max or less pre-recorded video every day regarding a dating and relationship topic. Typically, those topics will involve me, going on to Reddit or other forums and other blogs and dissecting and sharing my thoughts regarding certain issues or, many issues that men and women are struggling with nowadays. How other professionals and just people in the public are responding and sharing with the original poster how to handle it, and how I feel is the right way to handle it. If you watch the pre-recorded videos I put out, well, the first part I put out yesterday regarding the truth about why people get divorced in the modern world, and part 2 will be released tonight. If you watch both those videos, you will see what I'm talking about, and you will see how even a therapist that wrote a blog regarding this, in my opinion, was completely wrong. Not only about the numbers regarding divorce, but why people get divorced. And he shared some other things that I completely disagreed with, and I'm like, this guy's a therapist, and he disagrees that communication isn't necessarily, or a lack of communication or negative communication isn't necessarily a downfall in a relationship. Well, negative communication, or just, if everything is more negative than positive, I run from it. I run from drama and negativity. I want none of that. I've had enough of that in my life. It's very draining and taxing emotionally and mentally, and then that also drains you physically. If somebody emotionally drains the life out of you, they're not only sucking out the life out of you emotionally and mentally, but it takes a toll on you physically. You can feel it all over your body, tense up, right? That's why, I don't deal with people like that anymore. I have in the past, and that's how I learned how to deal with them, and that's how I learned how to share with you folks how to deal with these types of people. But yeah, no negativity. No drama, no negativity. Nada, zilch, zero, zip. Want none of it. And you should want none of it either. My female cat is doing good. That's good to hear, Queen. That's nice to hear. Yeah, I am walking against the wind, and it's blowing on my collar. This is a very difficult collar to keep down on this outfit. It wasn't even meant to be this way, but if I do it like this, it'll look unprofessional. So I've done my best to kind of suppress it down. So if my collar flips up because of the wind, forgive me. I even try to look aesthetically pleasing when I'm on these walks. Anyway, let's get right to it, folks. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. live from the San Francisco Bay Trail in beautiful Redwood City, California. This is episode number 152. Whew, 152. And today, and so I don't butcher it, I'm going to read exactly what Queen put in the chat. We're going to be discussing the key to greatly improve your life is reaching a level of being content. The key to greatly improving your life is reaching a level of being content. If I look back into my early 20s, my mid-20s, by the time I hit my mid-20s, I was a little more experienced in life than I was in my teens and early 20s, but still not. And I met a woman that I dated for about a year. And she was 5 years older than me. And she had just had a kid 6 months prior with her ex-boyfriend that left her after, she had gotten pregnant. But she was a nice woman. Talked with her online, met her on America Online, of all places back then. And when we met up, she was just very nice, very feminine. And she was a little older than me, which was interesting because I hadn't dated an older woman, at that point. And she was beautiful. She was good looking for her age. Well, she was 30, I was 25, so she's still pretty young, but she was older than me. But I remember her using one word that I didn't really understand the meaning of back then. When we would talk on the phone, when we went to see each other, I'd ask her, how are you feeling? How did work go today? How are you feeling right now? She goes, oh, I'm feeling content. You're feeling content. So are you feeling good? Not so good? Well, I'm feeling content. I'm all right, And at that point, I was thinking to myself, maybe she's just not happy about something with us or within herself. Or maybe, she wishes the baby's father would have stayed around. Right? And she's doing it all by herself, and now she's in this new relationship with me, right? And so the more and more I spent time with her, and I've shared other stories regarding this woman, throughout my streams. I'm not going to really get into that because it's not part of this topic. But the more and more I hung out with her and the more and more I would hear her say that word content, I really started to realize what it meant. And basically, it means, you're happy, you're in a good place. Maybe you haven't accomplished everything you want to accomplish. Okay? Maybe some things haven't gone your way that you wish could have gone differently. But nevertheless, you're happy within yourself and you're just going to keep on keeping on and keep pushing forward. And whatever is meant to be is meant to be. And I can't remember what inspired me to do this topic today. I came across the word somewhere. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube and other platforms. I watch a lot of similar types of content because that's what I'm interested in. And I get ideas of what I feel would best benefit you folks. And I share my content and information in the clearest ways possible. It might not be the quickest ways possible. I'm getting better at that because people's attention spans are very short, or short nowadays. But I really, really hone in and clarify everything I talk about So, yeah, I started to realize, when I was with this woman, like I said a second ago, what content really meant. And she was a very easygoing woman. And even when she broke it off with me, she was very easygoing about it. And she actually told me while we were hanging out on our final date. And she still wanted to hang out after that in more of a friendly capacity, but even back then I realized I'm not interested in being just friends. I'm not going to hang out with a beautiful woman that I'm into that wants to do everything we used to do except have sex together. That's what being just friends means. It means we're going to still do the same shit we did when we were dating, except we're no longer going to have sex. So, okay, well, you don't want that anymore as part of the relationship, then we'll just part ways. But she was very, very relaxed about it. She wasn't upset. I wouldn't say she was crying. She wasn't. But she was just very, very content about it. And if I look back now, I realized that this woman had experienced so much in life in her first 30 years that not much fazed her. And not much surprises her. So if things just don't work out for her, she can let things go very maturely and respectfully, right? And allow that person to move on and find someone better, and that way she can move on and find someone better as well, right? But I didn't realize that back then. Now looking back, I totally understand, right? That was 22 years ago. And what I want to help you folks understand here today is that if you're unhappy about certain things within your life, or maybe many things within your life, and you've been trying to turn things around, okay? But no matter what you do, you can't get yourself to feel better. You're struggling to turn things around. At some point, you have to realize that some things are just not meant to be. Like I said at the beginning of this show, it is what it is. Some things are just what they are, right? And there are many things in your life that are completely out of your control. And those are the things that people tend to focus on, because it's typically the things that are out of your control that return the biggest reward the quickest, right? And the things that are within your control, require a lot more work to accomplish success. All right, so we are hearing sirens. I don't know if these sirens are heading onto the freeway. They're very distracting. Okay, it's the other side. Looks like an ambulance. I'm sorry, folks. After a while of my ears being clogged for a little bit this year, due to excessive pollen, which, got my allergies at an all-time high level, and had excessive mucus and stuff. My ears were clogged for a little while, and then my ears fully unclogged, so I had medication and all that. And over the course of time, they'll naturally unclog. My ears fully unclogged about a month ago. And ever since then, it's like everything is like extremely loud, because you're used to hearing things at a lower level when your ears are clogged. So it's like these sirens that are clearly across the road over there, they sound like they're right next to me. Oh, man. Sun's starting to go down. I'll get a better idea of when sun sets towards the end of this trail, so I don't get stuck out here in the dark. But you know what? When the sun starts to go down, there's still a little light out there, right? And it's really cool the effect the iPhone 12 Pro Max has with the low light compensation, the auto exposure. No need to explain, says Queen. Well, you see, Queen, let me answer your question there, and I totally get it. You know, a lot of people will ask me, you know, why do you go into such great detail? Why do you explain certain things that don't need to be explained, right? Well, that's because not everyone is as intuitive and smart as you and I are, Queen. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I have to talk to people like they're 2-year-olds to get my message through because I really want to help them. And I know how annoying that can be to people like you and myself. I get it. But, you know, that's the only way to help people nowadays. You got to go into really great detail, and you have to thoroughly explain things. And for some people that are further ahead than others, you know, are going to be hearing a repeat of things they've heard before. I apologize for that. It is what it is. Hey, Donnie, how you doing, brother? Welcome to the show, dude. I'm glad I wore my my spider shirt, which is a little bit thicker than a normal shirt, but not overly thick. So this is keeping me warm, but it's not making me sweat. For this type of weather, right now it's about 60 degrees out here. For this type of weather, this is the perfect outfit. Not bad, working the graveyard shift. It's chilly here too. How cold is it over there in your neck of the woods, bro? And Donnie, thank you for connecting with me on Facebook and for joining the Coach Eli private moderator group behind the scenes. We're very happy to have you, man. Whew. I can tell you, another week or so, and it's going to start getting chilly out here. It's going to start raining. It's going to start to get a little more difficult to do these streams. And I remember in the past, throughout a couple of rainy seasons in the past that I've done these Walking with Purpose live edition streams, I still did them, and I still went out and did my walks, but I had to time them. I had to look at the weather report and find a patch of time that was less likely to rain. And a few times, Queen was around when this happened. I got caught in the rain. I was running for shelter, live on the air. Makes it a little bit more interesting, huh? I gotta tell you, I feel like I'm on top of the world being out here. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for speaking the U.S. lingo on that and not in Celsius. Now, do you folks in your neck of the woods, Donnie, do you share temperature in Celsius or Fahrenheit? Did you just say Fahrenheit because you know I'm in the U.S. and we're one of the few countries that doesn't use Celsius? We use Fahrenheit. I remember hanging out with some people on YouTube years ago on my former channel that are in Canada. And they're like, it's negative 10 degrees out here in Canada. Negative 10, that's damn cold. You know? And they're like, oh, negative 10 Celsius, which is like, I think like positive 10 degrees or 15 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Which is still freaking cold, but not as cold as negative 10 Fahrenheit, right? It was always interesting hanging out with those Canadians I met out here on YouTube and being on some live stream panels with them in the past. Look at that plane there. That's a beautiful private jet. That's a big private jet too. Probably luxurious as well. Wow. It's it's mainly Celsius in the UK. Well, look, folks, look how considerate Donnie is. Donnie's so considerate, he converts the weather that is typically represented in Celsius in his country, the UK, and into Fahrenheit because he knows I'm in the US, and it's like Celsius to me is like reading a foreign language. We use miles on the road. So you don't use kilometers, you use miles, like we do here in the States, where many other states use kilometers. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I gotta tell you folks, that's part of the beauty of being on a platform like YouTube, because it's a global platform, even though it was started here and still primarily run here in the San Francisco Bay Area where I live, not too far from where I live in San Bernardino, California. It's a global platform with over 2.3 billion monthly logged in users. And that's not even accounting the unlogged users. There's probably another billion of those, right? If I had to guess, there are probably over 3 billion unique people on YouTube every month. And that's almost half the planet in population. So you come across a lot of people. And it's been very interesting chatting with these people on live stream panels in the past, which I'll be doing again in the future. By the way, Donnie, you weren't here yesterday, but I'm going to be doing live streams primarily from mobile on my walks from here on out, or until something changes. And I'm going to be minimizing the in-studio live streams unless I get a panel show going. I'll do an in-studio live stream from time to time. But I'm more so going to be doing pre-recorded videos, more at a bite-sized level of content, meaning 35 minutes or less per video. And if I have to talk about a topic pre-recorded longer than 35 minutes, I'll break it up into 2 or 3 videos, whatever is necessary. Another thing I was considering doing, I'm probably going to start sometime maybe this weekend or next week, is doing some brief 10 to 15 minute videos right before bedtime. With no pun intended, no sexual innuendos or pun intended. It's going to be like a bedtime chat with Eli or something like that, or before bedtime with Eli. So that way I can help people get into the right mindset before they fall asleep, so they can get a great sleep, having a clear head, mind, heart, body, soul, right? And they get the best rest possible, and then they wake up refreshed in the morning and start off their day in more productive ways. So lots of stuff changing for the better, slightly changing, not majorly changing, but I'm tweaking things up a little bit. Not a lot of people on the trail here today. Sun is starting to go down. On the way back, I'm sure it's going to be a little bit darker. I'll still be able to see, but the iPhone will compensate for it. It'll give us some really cool shots. This is actually a really great time to come out here and do a video or take pictures. Another thing, folks, like I've been talking about in the past, I'm going to convert the blog on my website from a vlog to a blog. I'll probably still embed some videos in it. That makes sense, but I want to more so start also doing some written content and taking pictures wherever I go. The iPhone 12 Pro Max does take great pictures, but I want to bring my my Sony A6400 mirrorless digital camera. It's almost 25 megapixels and get some nice shots for you folks. How many of you would like some blogging content with some nice pictures and written content on top of the video content? A little old school, but blogs still get a lot of traction. And still nice, beautiful still shots are great to look at too. And they paint the picture of where you're at. Oh, man. Some guy just finished running to the end, and he's coming back. He was at the observation deck. Oh, a couple people, a guy and a gal, I believe. I'm going to pull off to the side for a second here. The sun is behind the cloud over there. That woman was blaring some modern music. That's all like electronic. All the music nowadays is electronically processed in the studio, right? That's why you hear the wah 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 and you hear like the voice of the artist, and it sounds like it's electronic because it is. It's processed. It's kind of like the modern day version of what a guy by the name of Roger used to create when he was the lead singer of a group called Zap. Remember that song, Computer Love? Shooby doo wop, doo doo wop, I wanna love you. That was called the Talk Box. And he would go and Roger, the lead singer of Zap, would go on to shows like American Bandstand back in those days. Some of you young bucks don't even remember those shows. With I think it was Dick Clark that was hosting that, God rest his soul. And Roger would sing, Computer Love. And then he had a song called I Want to Be Your Man. I want to be your man. I want to be your man. It's like electronically, the sound was electronic. But back in those days, they used this talk box. And I think either he created it or someone created it for him. He wanted to bring out a new sound, which now has gone mainstream. But they process that sound now in the studio. Right? So it's impossible to reproduce that outside of the studio. So whenever these artists go and perform elsewhere, like American Idol, excuse me, or they're doing a concert, it's all lip syncing now. There's no way to reproduce that electronic, electrical studio sound outside the studio. That's why, in my opinion, nowadays, concerts aren't even worth it because it's all lip syncing. American Idol, when they perform, it's all lip syncing. And you may ask, why don't the artists just sing in their normal voice? Because the song wouldn't sound the same. And people want to hear the sound in the same ways as they hear it on the radio or on their favorite music app or however people listen to music nowadays. Excuse me. Queen remembers. And millimeters for measurements in engineering, says Donnie. Yeah, and we use yards too. Cool. Yards is an old English imperial measurement, right? We use kilos and stone. Queen says, I remember. So you remember Roger. Computer Love. I Want to Be Your Man. Great songs, right? And it was an interesting concept back then, right? And the cool factor was he could bring that talk box anywhere. They hook up a microphone to it, and it would reproduce the sound, right? But nowadays, no one wants to be seen with a talk box or this plastic tube in your mouth while you're singing, especially if you're a guy. No pun intended, but you know how some guys out there are. They're very immature, and they would say something immature. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Hey, lady, let me tell you why I can't live my life without you. Oh, baby. Man, those songs had so much meaning back in those days. I'll tell you that. They really did. Again, nowadays you can't serenade women like that because they they would think like you're putting them on a pedestal and being overly nice, and you just can't do that stuff. And that's the stuff I love, actually. Now this woman that I've been seeing now for over a month, she's hanging out with a friend today, and she's gonna listen to this on the way back. And she'd probably get back to me and say, "Oh no, that's so nice. I like that. I like that. You can serenade me and all that." Ma'am, that's what you say now. Maybe you really do like it, but trust me, it would get old, and it would end up sounding like weak and pathetic, and like I'm begging for your love or something like that, right? But yeah, I used to love that music. All those songs back then in the 80s, and even in the early to mid 90s, some of the R&B, like Jodeci. I've been watching you for so very long, right? Oh man, somebody's jogging. Maybe they might come up here. I'm just gonna show you folks some of the beautiful shots right now at this time of the afternoon / early evening. Oh, it's interesting. Somebody has a bike right by that pole over there. I don't know if it's locked or anything. I don't know if somebody just rode a bike out here and then did a little jogging, and maybe it's that dude over there. I'm not going to show him coming back to get his bike, but okay, that's interesting. We'll do a little biking and we'll do a little jogging. Folks, today we've been talking about one of the best ways to improve your life. One of the best ways to acquire self-improvement or achieve self-improvement is to get to a level of being content within yourself, deep within yourself. And just understanding that, some things are meant to be and some things aren't meant to be. For you, I'm talking in general. And no, ma'am, if you're listening, don't take me out of context and think that, I'm talking about you and this and that. You got to be really careful with women because when you do what I do and you're dating someone, they always think that, like you're talking about them, right? And that's not the case, right? Okay? But a lot of my principles hold true for everyone, right? Even including you, ma'am. A lot of the reasons why you're attracted to me and I'm attracted to you is because of the way I am and the way you are, right? And you and I are older. We're in our mid 40s, right? We've had experience. We've had experience. And we've learned from those experiences. And we know what keeps people around, and we also know what breaks people up, what repels people, right? I'm just trying to teach people, ma'am, she likes when I address her. Women love attention. I swear to God, women love attention. When I was younger, I used to love attention, but I wasn't as secure in myself as I am today, right? Nowadays, I don't need attention to be happy. I like peace and quiet. I like being around good people that don't create drama or issues or headaches or anything like that. Like, I don't need a lot of attention to be happy. Like, this is me being content, Here, this is exactly why I chose to do this topic. And by the way, I actually remember now where I got the topic idea. I'm probably going to do a more in-depth video regarding this, and I may even do it tonight if I get the chance. But it won't be released for a day or two, or maybe until tomorrow or the next day, because tonight I'm going to be releasing part 2 of, the real reason, the truth why people get divorced in the modern world. But yeah, I saw a posting where somebody posted in one of the Reddits I'm a part of. I think it's called "Deciding to Be Better" or "Get Better" or something like that. It's a very motivational and inspirational Reddit forum with positive people posting positive things. And somebody mentioned, in their posting, the key to self-improvement is being content with yourself. The key to self-improvement is being content with yourself. Now, give me a second here, folks. I'm just going to stand up here for a few more minutes. And then I'm going to start heading back. So that guy that was over there on the right, yeah, he went and parked his bike there. Maybe he locked it, maybe he didn't. And he went to jog to the other side, left his bike there, rode his bike out, went to jog to the other side, came back. Now he's going to ride his bike out. That's like a double exercise there. That's cool. You're working your legs and stuff, right? But you're also, standing on your own 2 feet and working other muscles and burning more calories when you're not on your bike. So your bike is good for working certain muscles, but you're going to burn a lot more calories when you're on your feet compared to biking the same amount. You need to bike about 3 times what you walk or run to pretty much burn the same calories. Well, if you run, you burn more calories, a little more, because your heart rate goes up. But you get the gist there. Excuse me. So I'm gonna come on down. Hi. Whoops! I think I went off the air for just a second. Oh, there's a plane that's gliding. That gentleman walked his bike up to the observation deck. He wants to enjoy the beauty and relax a bit before he hops back on his bike and bikes on out of here. All right. Jackson Black, sub coach. Jackson Black, I think you're trolling. You want to have a little fun, Jackson Black? You want to tell me how you found out about this channel and make up some lame excuse? Anyone that comes in here and says sub coach is trolling. That's like the unprofessional thing you can say is sup. That's a trolling word, right? It's either a trolling word or somebody that's not here to learn. So Jackson Black, am I forgetting? Have you been here before? Tell me a little bit about you. How you found out about this channel, right? You subscribed at least 24 hours ago. You waited 24 hours to chat because that's how I have my chat set, right? So tell me, Jackson Black. Queen, let me ask you a question. You think Jackson is trolling? I'm here to learn. I have been watching you for the last year or so. Oh, really? You've been watching me for the last year or so, and you're just commenting and here to learn. Do me a favor, Queen. Can you ban Jackson Black? I'm not in the mood to waste any energy on these trolls. I've been here for a year. They're still trying to suck me back in. It's so pathetic. It's not going to work. It's one person. I'm not going to mention who it is. It's not a big deal. I don't care. I got the greatest troll radar on the planet. Jackson Black, BLACC. Not even capitalizing his name, right? No image on the account. Just a letter, right? Been following you for a year. Been watching you for a year, and I'm here to learn. I didn't feel the need to ask any questions over the last 365 days, but all of a sudden, I created my new trolling account. I subscribed to you 24 hours ago because that's what's required to chat here, and then I waited it out for my new account to try to troll you. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me and pathetic at the same time. And some people still ask, why do I talk about it? Why even pay any attention to it? Because this is part of my coaching. It is. I'm sharing with you folks how some people are because they're not content. Hey Gary, how you doing? Well, Gary's been good. Hi Eli, hi Queen. Watching between flights. Right on, Gary. Are you in the U.S. or a different country, man? You flying out on business or leisure, man, or pleasure? You see, that's a great example to use are the trolls. The trolls who are they're actually real people, right? They're not content with their life. They're unhappy, right? But they're not content with anything. Because if they were content with their life, they wouldn't waste any time trolling people that aren't going to get them anywhere. And see, the thing is this. They troll because, like the people that troll me for one reason. They want me to get triggered, and they want me to start feeding into them so they can have content to present to their audience and make donations and get paid to do it, right? And they want me because out of everyone that they've gone toe-to-toe with in the drama sphere, in the drama land, I was the one that got them the most traction because I'm the one that has the most balls. I'm the one that has the best communication skills, speaking skills, etc., right? And I'm the one that happens to be a coach, right? I'm sharing this because I know some of these people are watching. Because they're obsessed. They can't get enough, right? And it's not a big deal. I don't care. Every so often I get a troll in here. I'll identify it. I'll share it as a story for my audience and teach them how to avoid it, right? At the same time, I'll let these people know, hey, if you want to continue trying for the rest of your life to suck me back into your vortex because you have no other content, if that's how you want to live your life in a non-content way, then that's on you. I literally do not pay attention to anything these people do anymore. Nothing at all. None of the content they create, even if it involves me, I don't even know if they made any content on me because I have them all blocked everywhere. I just don't care at all, right? But I mention this because, to be quite honest with you, I love everybody and I care about everybody. And I really wish these people, particularly one person, and dude, you know who you are, one person that still does not understand that in the past when I said what you're doing is not sustainable long term, you're still not understanding that to this day where it's no longer sustainable, but you're still trying. Instead of creating something that's more sustainable long term and it's gonna make you feel content and it's gonna be something you can be proud of. It's also gonna be something where you can maintain an audience for much longer than 6 months or a year and not have to change the drama audience every 6 months or a year when people figure out that you're using them for content, fake instigated content, just to make money at their expense. That's the truth of the matter. I say that because I want to teach as many people as possible to stay away from the YouTube drama sphere with people like this, because they're not trying to harm you. They're not even really trying to troll you. They want you to think that they're going to harm you, but they don't. The only reason why they want you to think that, and it comes off that way, is because they're trying to get you to react. They're trying to get you to react and say, oh, you're breaking the law, or this and that, blah, 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 right? They're trying to trigger you so much. And all you have to do is ignore. That's it. Wow. That sun is right at eye level. Look at that. The auto exposure should be doing it justice, but yeah. By the time I get towards the end, the sun will go down further, but once I turn this corner, it'll be on my back, so I'll be able to see better. Thankfully, I've got good sunglasses, the good old Ray-Bans, the Wayfarers, the classic Wayfarers, to protect me from the evil rays of the sun. Well, the sun rays are good for parts of your body. They're good for vitamin D, right? D3. But not for your eyes. You got to protect your eyes so the sun doesn't burn the cornea and worse. And you know what I'm saying, right? Gary says, why are they trolling you? I don't get why people would put in that kind of effort on YouTube. Well, Gary, I'll share it in a little more detail here so you can understand it. There are people on this platform, like drama sells, Gary. And because YouTube is so big and there's so many creators fighting for an audience, whenever people create drama content and attack other people, talk smack about other people, fight with people on live streams, right? People tune in to see that. They drop everything to see that. And for the people that create regular content, we don't get as many views right away because it's just regular content, and many people are creating regular content and there's so much to see. But when drama happens, when something really crazy happens, it doesn't matter who creates it, people just tune in. Now, I'm not that kind of person. I can't stand that kind of stuff, but most other people enjoy it. So you have creators out on the platform that are trying to use YouTube and create content in similar ways, such as the mainstream media does. Let's use wrestling, for example, like the WWE, formerly known as WWF, when we were growing up. All of that is fake. All those wrestlers are not even touching each other or anything, It's all scripted, and, it's for entertainment purposes, right? But what do these guys do? Okay? They clock in, they go on stage, and they grab a microphone, they talk shit about the other wrestler, right? They call him a big sissy, this and that, right? And next thing you know, about 5-10 minutes into the speech, the other wrestler they're talking smack about comes running out of backstage and goes and hits this guy on the head behind the back with the microphone, right? And then they start to fight on the stage, right? It's stupid. It's all fake. It's all entertainment, right? But growing up, I used to love watching WWF. I don't watch WWE anymore because I can't stand the fake stuff anymore, but I didn't really know it was fake back then. People told me it was, but I didn't want to believe it was fake. I was a Hulkamaniac. People get addicted to that stuff, right? They get addicted to the storyline, right? And one of the main things that happens, Gary, is and this is with no disrespect, you have a lot of people in this world with no disrespect that are second and third class citizens. They come from poverty. They're uneducated, right? And they're struggling to survive. So when they come across someone like me that comes from a well-to-do family, and I've got a pretty good life, they project onto me. And some creators like that will make content out of me, and they'll cater it to the audience I just talked about. It basically, they're all basically projecting, right? And I used to go toe-to-toe with these people. I used to feed into them, which I shouldn't have. I didn't even realize what was happening. And every time I would go on panels and talk with them, or have a debate with them, they would always fix it to where I would automatically lose, even if I won. It was all staged to try to trigger me in front of this second or third class citizen type of audience, right? Until I figured out that the only way to just stop this and to, move my own content forward is to ignore. These people are pathetic. I watch WWE, AEW, and Next. No, I know, but it's fake. Dude, don't get me wrong, Donnie. I used to love that stuff, bro. I grew up with it. I used to grow up with that stuff. I used to grow up with that stuff. I mean, I can't even talk. But I think what's happened to me nowadays is because I've dealt with so much stupid, nonsensical drama on YouTube. Like, I don't like watching anything fake anymore. I don't. I don't mind watching like a comedy TV show or an action adventure TV show, right? But when it comes to like reality TV, which is fake, like the Real Housewives of whatever county they're in, Orange County or wherever, or The Bachelor or Desperate Housewives or WWE. Is WCW still around? I think, did WWE buy WCW? I think they did, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. I don't enjoy any of that content anymore. It's been played out. Fake instigating, fighting and stuff like that, and drama. It doesn't do anything for me. I just don't enjoy it at all. Mainstream media can be fake. They can be at times too, Donnie, you're right. And what's the reason why they're fake at times? It's because they have to sell commercials. And they have to draw a crowd to sell those commercials, right? If they don't get enough viewers on there to view those commercials, based on the programming, they're not going to have sponsors, right? That's what happens. So yeah, no, I get it. It's really sad nowadays that we have to do fake, stupid shit to get people to tune in, to sell commercials, to pay for the programming, right? Or to pay the people that create the programming, right? Give me a second here. Vince killed WCA. Are you talking about WCW? Yeah. Yeah, didn't he buy it? Didn't McMahon actually buy WCW? I think he bought them out, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. McMahon has way too much money, dude. McMahon's been doing this, bro. Jesus, dude. Since what, the 80s? It's going on 40 years now, dude. And, when I was growing up, Donnie, you're just a little bit younger than me. But when I was growing up, it was all about Hulkamania, Terry Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, ho, right? Coco Beware, Roddy Piper, right? Remember, I don't know if you remember those dudes. That was classic shit. That was good stuff, right? And at least the acting was better back then. Like the acting back in those days was better because we had less technology, right? You had to actually act back then. Nowadays, this stuff is so fabricated, man. It's just not the same. You can't even make the fake shit look real anymore. All right? It just sucks. It's not the same. Yeah, they bought all the WCW video library and the company, huh? WWE owns Next Wrestling. Let's see. What did you write, Gary? Sorry, I know you wrote up above. Sounds like the ones that troll you could actually benefit from some coaching to redirect their energy. You know, I try to help these people out. I know who they are, Gary. I tried to help these people out over the last 5 years, coming back to my former channel, and now this channel here that's been live for almost 3 years. And you have to understand one thing, man. These people know they have issues, but they're not willing to work on them or change them, because in order for them to do that, they would have to stop producing the drama content that's making them money. And because they have no real content that can replace that income source of their drama, channels, they have to stay in that drama role. I've learned all this, dude. I mean, I've got years of experience in dealing with this, And that's why I talk about it from time to time, because we can all learn from it, right? We can all learn from it, right? I've helped lots of people on YouTube really understand trolling and how to ignore it and how to squash it, how to set up their channels and protect them like I do on my live streams. You hardly get any trolls here. I had one earlier, but it's very rare because I have my channel pretty much bulletproof for trolls. Any normal people can get through, but the trolls, I know all their lingo. I put all their lingo as block words. I have Nightbot and the YouTube block words list, right? And people have to subscribe a minimum of 24 hours, which is what I'm trying to say, before they can chat. So if every now and then one of them is willing to do that and one of them slips through the cracks, it's not a big deal. When I first started live streaming, man, I got hammered by trolls. I got hammered by 200 trolls in one stream. Sometimes you get hammered by troll farms. These people don't even know you. They're just looking to stir up the pot on any live stream, right? But once you go through it, you learn how to deal with it if you're going to survive on this platform or any other platform. You got to learn how to deal with trolling. You just have to ignore it. Again, the only reason why I talk about it from time to time is because I teach this stuff. I want people to learn from what I've been through, I do. We had some funny guys in the UK. Yup, you sure did. Wrestlers. We had a world of sport. Yep, The Rock and Stone Cold was the last of great actors. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, dude, I forgot about Stone Cold Steve Austin. Right. And The Rock. I didn't really like The Rock initially, but I learned to respect him because he's a real good dude. He's a real good dude in real life, too. It's Dwayne Johnson, right? If I remember correctly. Dwayne Johnson, right? The Rock. My all-time favorite is Terry Hulk Hogan. Hulkamania. But I really grew to respect The Rock. I really grew to respect The Rock. And yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I used to love that name, Stone Cold, right? My buddies and I, back in those days, when we get rejected by women, we would say that woman's being stone cold, right? Yeah, and The Undertaker. Queen says yes. And The Undertaker. Yeah, the Dwayne Johnson works hard. Yeah. No, he does. But on top of that, dude, he's a good dude. He's just a really good human being, right? And he has one hell of a story. I'm not going to get into it now, but yeah, he has one hell of a story on how this all came about. I mean, folks, what you see on the set is, is easier said than done, right? He had to work his ass to get to where he was at. And he never gave up. And he's had one hell of a career. One hell of a career. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night. Well, late afternoon, early evening. It is 5:38. Gary says they are cool, but I'm a little older than you. I was in college during those years and partied too much. Oh, really? Yeah, I never really went through a party phase in my life. I think, when I was a teenager, I had a boss at the movie theater who was like almost 10 years older than me. And he was a cool guy. And, in my late teens, early 20s, I got my party phase out of the way. And I didn't really even enjoy it. I've always been the type of guy that wanted to mimic what my mother and father had before my father passed away 12 years ago. I've always just wanted to have the family life. And let me talk about that for right now. I wanted to mention a few other things, right? Being content, self-improvement, really involves you as an individual getting to a place where you're content within yourself, deep within yourself. And there are many things that, as I've gotten older, I've become content with. When I was younger, up until I was 40 years old, I definitely wanted to get married and have kids. When I turned 40, I was still open to marriage, but now kids are optional because, some of the women that, I'm with a woman now that can't have kids, and she's had kids, and she's around my age, so wouldn't it be healthy? Ma'am, don't read too far into this. Don't read too far into this. I have to be very clear because she watches these streams and she takes them to heart, like a woman would, right? I'm just sharing this for example purposes. I'm totally cool with not having kids, but I wasn't content with that until I was 40, which is what I'm saying. Now I'm 47, almost 48. If it's possible, it's possible. If it's not, it's not. And if it works out with this woman, then it will be possible. Then I'm content with that, right? I'm cool with that. I've come to a realization. I've come to a place deep within where I'm good with not having kids. I'm also good if I never find the right person to get married. I hope I do. But if not, that's okay too, right? Again, ma'am, this woman's watching behind the scenes. Don't read into this too far. These are examples so people can understand the topic of being content deep within is going to allow you to improve the best. Self-improvement is based on how content you become deep within. So I got 10 years on you. Yeah, that's all right, man. We're pretty close in age. Yeah, I'm 40. I'll be 48 in December. Oh, I partied hard from age 17 to my early 20s. I mean, you mean partied, right? From 17 to my early 20s. I can't do these days. Can't do that these days. Yeah, he was filming at a power station in Yorkshire for Hobbs and Shaw movie. A couple of people I know said he was a wholesome dude. Yeah, no, you're talking about Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, he's a good dude. Yeah, women tend to take it to the heart. As us men, we put our foot in it all too often. Well, here's the thing. At my age right now, I'm content with whatever happens in my life. I want to be with a good woman, and I want to have a life with a woman. And if this woman is the one, then that's great, right? And if not, and I'm alone the rest of my life, then I'm you got to be fine with that, right, guys? You know, self-improvement is critical on you being content one way or the other, right? And here's the thing, when you're content, when you're just content and relaxed and you just accept things for the way that they're meant to be, right? You never know what happens tomorrow or the next day. When you're content, things that you least expect start to happen for you because you're not expecting it. You're relaxed, right? You're not trying too hard. Maybe you're not even trying at all. Maybe you're just so relaxed that you give up this aura that you don't care one way or the other and you become more attractive to the world. There's a lot of truth to that. When you least expect something or when you least care, results happen. You care too much, and that's what women think they want. Women think that they want you, women think they want you as a man to overly care for them, right? Right? But a well-balanced guy like me, I'm supportive, but I also like my space, and I also, don't overdo it with any woman I'm with nowadays, right? But yeah, women think that they want you to overly care, and if you do it, if you start overly caring for them, right, and you start doing every single little thing that they tell you, right? Like let's say, oh, I want to see you more often. I want to, I want to do this. I want to do that. I want you to, you start doing that, and next thing you know, they lose respect for you. They start to look at you as needy and weak and desperate and insecure. Again, to the lady behind the scenes, I really don't want to have another conversation and explain myself that this has nothing to do with you. We're good. I hope you leave it at that because I just want to relax tonight. I just want to relax. One of the most draining things is trying to explain to your lady when she's having the emotional moment and she misunderstands certain things, right? Like what I do out here. My content is not catered to her specifically, it's catered to the general public. That's why it's hard to do what I do. But this woman, she's really into this content. And she's even said it's actually really, really helped her gain more focus and clarity. And I try to tell her, look, I appreciate the fact that it helps you, but, I'm not here to life coach someone I'm seeing or anything, but I will support you in other ways. In essence, I'll be there for her, but I don't want her to think of me as a life coach or her life coach. I want her to think of me as someone that loves to help people. And I think she's kind of getting that, right? Ooh, what is that? There's like a bug on the trail. Is that like a cockroach? I don't know what the hell that was. I'm not going to get too close to it. Folks, get your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to the other side. If I don't go to the other side, we'll be going off the air in about 10 to 12 minutes. If we go to the other side, it's going to probably be another 25 minutes before this wraps up. Again, later tonight, I'll be releasing part 2 of a pre-recorded video series, 2-part series I did, where I released part 1 yesterday. The truth about why the divorce rate is so high in the modern world. So part 2 is going to be released probably about an hour or two after this stream ends. And then I'm going to be creating some more pre-recorded videos for you folks in short form. Probably going to take the rest of the night off tonight. I need to rest. I had a lot to do this morning, and then get right back to it tomorrow. I have 30 more minutes on this layover. Keep going. I'm going to keep you company for another 30 minutes, Gary. Let's see how I feel when I get to the end of the trail here, which you can see from here. So a lot of the bushes are starting to grow. I remember early on this summer, this was all trim. It's all started to grow back. So, like I was saying earlier, before I got sidetracked, you know, there are a lot of things that I've wanted to accomplish in life. Some of them are still possible to accomplish, and others are less likely or not possible. And you have to come to terms with that, guys and gals. And you have to be content with it. And you can't sit there and feel sorry for yourself that you didn't accomplish those things. For most people, it's having children. There are lots of people not having children nowadays. And a lot of that has to do with the way the modern world is. And we're living in a new modern world that's, you know, so new, we haven't explored it enough to be able to educate people on how to navigate through it. And that's why I do what I do here. I'm hoping by the next generation or two that everybody learns from the world we're living in right now. A world that's been pretty much created by the millennials and the Gen Zers, the Gen Y millennials and the Gen Z, you know, post-millennial I generation. This is one of the most different types of worlds we've lived in. And there isn't a lot of data on it. It's that new. And it's that different. And so, you know, while most people before the 1950s were getting married at a younger age and having a family, now it's the complete opposite. Yet people that came from a family like that, like me, really wish they could have had that. But like I said, again, I've come to terms with the fact that I'm probably not going to have that. And I'm okay with it. I'm content. Do I wish it could be different? Sure. Does that mean I'm crying and hurt and, you know, not going to just go on and enjoy life? No, I am. I want to help you folks learn to also become content with yourselves. And that way, like Coach Corey Wayne likes to say, he's one of my favorite coaches out here on YouTube that I watch. You know, you got to come from a relaxed and peaceful state. in everything that you do every day. I want to help you folks reach that relaxed and peaceful state like I have, despite what happens in your life, despite who pisses you off on any particular day, despite if you're a guy that was just broken up with by a woman, or you're a woman that was just broken up with by a guy, despite if you've gone through divorce or not, right? I want to help you folks realize that there are, like I said, there are many things that are out of your control. And you shouldn't sit there and blame yourself for that, or, just, beat yourself up and hold yourself back from enjoying life because of that. The things that are out of your control, they're out of your control. There's nothing you can do about it, right? And even the things that are even the things that are within your control, sometimes you make mistakes, and you're human, right? Don't beat yourself up for making mistakes. I've made mistakes in my life that, had I known better, I would have had certain things in my life right now that would have been more amazing. But I'm still happy with my life, don't get me wrong. I made mistakes in life where it cost me relationships, good relationships, friendships, business partnerships. I've made mistakes, right? But I don't beat myself up over it. I'm content with it. I've learned to be content regardless of the outcome. It's hard for, our youth to really understand this. Typically, most people get to this point of feeling content at some point in their mid to late 30s or by their early 40s. You start to realize that, hey, some of the same shit that you did when you were younger is not going to work, or it's not even worth putting any energy into this, right? You kind of learn to more so say, like I said at the beginning of this show, it is what it is, right? I think that's electricity. I think that's electricity from the transmission tower over there. You can hear it. We're at 88 minutes. If I get 3 ones from 3 different people, I will go to the other side. I'm going to give you folks 2 minutes. If you want me to go to the other side, stay on another, 15, 20 minutes. Put a 1 in the chat. I need to get at least 3 to do that. If not, I'm going to walk on out. Gary says, they're boarding early for a change. I'll keep listening but won't be able to chat. Have a great night, all. Thanks for stopping by, Gary. You're good to listen to. I appreciate your live streams. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Screw it. Let's just go. Sometimes you just go for it regardless, right? You try to, engage your audience and make it a little fun and make it a contest, right? Or an engagement piece. And even if you get no responses, screw it. Just keep moving forward. You only need yourself to keep moving forward. You don't need anyone else to keep moving forward. Now, you need people to get ahead, okay? But you can keep moving forward on your own. And when you keep moving forward, you're going to find those people that will move ahead with you. That's a little bit of my philosophy there and how I think about things, how I look at things. See the sun over there? It's going to be going down very, very soon. That's the transmission tower. You can really hear electricity just flowing through these huge transmission lines. This site is really, really short, so we might as well go. Got some people on a canoe over there. Is that like a police boat or something? I wonder if the sheriff patrols these waters. No, this might be a competition. Maybe they're recording from those boats. It's a beautiful place to row your canoes. They probably have a camera on there. I think that is a camera. I mean, I would definitely be shooting this in 4K. If I was out here, I would be recording this in 4K with a nice 4K camera. 4K at 60 frames per second. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. I wouldn't mind having a place back here, but I mean, these places back here are super, super expensive. These are $4,500 to $5,000 a month for a tiny place, minimum. It's just incredibly expensive. But that's where the cost of living is at when you live in the high-tech capital of the world, Silicon Valley. Folks, get your questions, comments, concerns in. We're going to be going off the air in about 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes. We're heading to the end, the observation deck on this side. We're going to spend a couple minutes there, and then we're going to wrap it up. This must be like a college canoe class. Maybe it's Stanford. I don't know of any high school that has, rowing. But that's a good way to get in really good shape. You can really build your arms and biceps doing rowing. You got to be really, really freaking strong to be on that team. And then you can sit there and be the one dude on the megaphone in the motored boat talking shit on the right. Come on, you sissies. Come on, you guys are you guys men or what, right? Those were all dudes. I know chicks can do this too, but those were all guys. Oh, man. I keep looking at that sun. Nobody's coming. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at it glistening off the water right there. I don't know if you can see that. There's the sun right there, and if you look down at the water over there, I think I'm going to end the stream from the observation deck. So folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in. Going to be going off the air a little bit sooner, probably from the observation deck. There are a couple people up ahead, but they're not on the deck. I'll say this, folks. The moment that you can reach a level of feeling content within yourself, deep within yourself, nothing's going to faze you, no matter what happens, no matter what, such as, going through a breakup, a divorce, even if something tragic happens to a friend or family member. Now, that's hard to deal with, it is. But if you learn how to be content deep within yourself and understand that things happen in life, right? You're going to mentally prepare yourself for anything, and you're going to be able to handle it much better. I'm not saying you're not going to have your moments, and certain things are really going to knock you off your center for a little while, but if you're content, you're going to be able to work through it much, much quicker. There's a couple of guys over there just enjoying the water. I'm going a little off trail, doing a little trailblazing to not run into them. Look at the sun right there. Now look at this shot. This is a shot I wish I had my Sony a6400 to take a nice, high quality image. I mean, the iPhone would do good too, but these smartphones don't have nearly the same sensor size as regular DSLRs or mirrorless cameras. And if you're going to get a camera nowadays, folks, you want to go mirrorless. The mirrorless cameras are the absolute best. That's why I went with the Sony a6400. Not only does it do great video, pre-recorded, and you use it for live streaming like I do, it takes great frickin' still shots. And it makes me, the more and more I talk about it, the more and more I really want to get my blog going on my website and then buy some more expensive lenses for the a6400, but I'm going to hold off on that because some of those lenses are like $1,000. Like, I want to get the telephoto lens that can go like 300x, but that's like $1,000. That's like $999.99, where I could literally probably zoom in all the way from here to those homes, crystal clear. The thing is, if you're going to take a shot at 300x, even if it's with a super nice, lens, and it's clear, you have to have a steady tripod. When you're zoomed in that tight, or from that at that level, you've got to have a great tripod, kind of like the television cameras have, especially like for ball games, right? A lot of those, most, if not all those cameras that zoom in to the pitcher's mound and show the batter in a baseball game, they're typically from center field, that area. And they're zoomed in. I'd probably say they're at least zoomed in at 150 to 200x, maybe greater. Those cameras are super expensive because it's more about the lenses that they use. They're super, super high quality, and they're all optical lenses. There's nothing digitally enhanced in those productions. We have digital enhancement on our phones and our cameras because, typically they're limited to how far they can zoom out. And if you want to zoom out a little further digitally, it'll enhance it as best as possible, but nothing is better than optical. And for me, I never shoot anything. I never shoot anything in digital. I never use the digital part of processing when it comes to taking a picture. I'm going to keep it here, folks. Screw it. I'll run this a little bit longer. I think somebody's coming up here to take some pictures, so I'm going to take off. Now, as you can see, the sun is going further down. It's right on top of the mountain, glistening in the water. Man, looking at that sun, even with these sunglasses, It kind of blinded me for a second. Surprised that I've got 10 people still here. And I'm just kind of shooting the shit right now. Just kind of enjoying the rest of the walk. So again, folks, in case you're just tuning in, I'm going to be releasing part 2 of a 2-part video series I started yesterday. Pre-recorded video series. This is regarding the real reason why the divorce rate is so high in the modern world. Part 1 was released last night. Part 2 will be released about an hour or two after I go off the air from this stream. It's already uploaded and ready to go. And that's where I'm going to be taking my channel more so primarily, is giving you folks more regular pre-recorded videos. I'm going to try to batch record them, in batches, like 1 or 2 days out of the week. I really want to, start taking some more time off to relax as I get older. So, I'm probably going to batch record on Mondays or Tuesdays, create like 5 or 10 videos, 20 to 30 minutes each, 35 minutes max, get them all uploaded, and then all I have to do is, the day I release them, just create a thumbnail real quick, and boom, publish them. That's it. These mobile live streams, like I said, will be moving to around 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. For the most part, there may be some days where they're later, like today, because there's some clerical work that just comes up. But for the most part, these Walking with Purpose live streams will happen every day, if not almost every day, at around 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Maybe a little bit sooner, maybe a little bit later. In some cases, it may be around the time it was today, 7:15 Eastern, 4:15 Pacific. But that's going to be very, very rare. And then I'm also going to be, at some point, I'm just trying to get the system down, is recording some, bedtime videos. Before bedtime with Coach Eli or something like that. I'll figure out a name for it. I want to give you folks 10 to 15 minute unedited raw videos from my iPhone 12 Pro Max in 4K at 60 frames per second, with just some thoughts before bedtime, just some motivational thoughts to go to sleep with and put your mind in the right place before you fall asleep. Because if your mind isn't relaxed when you lay down in bed, you're not going to be able to get that deep REM sleep that you need to have. At least typically 7 or 8 hours of each day of deep REM sleep to allow your body to fully recharge, your muscles to relax, your body to recover and be, I got distracted by that dude on a megaphone who just keeps talking smack to those, those rowers. Yeah, man. Anyway, lost my train of thought, but you get the point. You get the point. And I can just shoot those from my couch using this selfie stick and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I can even upload them from the iPhone 12 Pro Max. My iPhone 12 Pro Max is on Wi-Fi at my place. And so it's connected to my fiber line through Wi-Fi. And even though the Wi-Fi on the iPhone can only do a maximum of 500 megabits down and up, that's still fast enough. That's also the maximum YouTube allows you to upload anyway. YouTube doesn't let you upload at a gigabit, 1,000. The max upstream for YouTube is 500 megabits. which most of you don't even have an upstream like that unless you have fiber like me. Most of you have a gig down now, but 100 up, 150 up, right? 200 up, 50 up, whatever, right? Yeah, with my new laptop and this new Ethernet card I have on my laptop, literally, I'm uploading at 500 megabits per second to YouTube. It's uploading at around 62 or 63 megabytes per second. So that means for every gig, you're looking at a gigabyte every, let me see, probably a gigabyte every like 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds from my connection, I can upload a gigabyte to YouTube. So that's why I'm able to do these high quality files very, very quickly. You know, I'm able to produce them and upload them very quickly and get them out to you folks very quickly. All right, folks. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air in just a few minutes here. One more time. The sun is just about to go below the hill, the mountain, whatever you want to call it. It's glistening on the water. This is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And I haven't eaten all day. I'm starved. My stomach is empty. I emptied my stomach before I came out here. You all know how that happens, right? I'm not going to say what I did. We all do that typically once a day at least, right? If you're regular, right? I'm in a good mood today, folks, and I hope you are too. I hope that I've motivated you with some positivity in your life. I'm not trying to bore you folks or anything. I know this is not the most entertaining or interesting content, but that's not the purpose. The purpose is to make you feel good deep within, to teach you how to love yourself so the rest of the world can love you and you can enjoy life in the way it was meant to be enjoyed. Back at the same spot yesterday. I love these signs. I gotta find out if I can buy these signs somewhere. I would love to have at least one of these signs that says San Francisco Bay Trail. I would put that up in my place, and even one that says Public Shore. I take a few arrows as well too. Those are cool. Do 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 do. How long have we been on for? We were on for 2 hours yesterday. Today, we're at 1 hour and 49 minutes. We're not going to hit the 2 hour mark today. I stopped more often yesterday. I even went off to the side by the water, a side trail. That's what took an extra 10 minutes. I didn't do that today. Again, folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. Please like, share, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and that way you won't miss anything. Keep it locked here, folks. If you want to turn your life around for the better, even if you have a good life and you feel good about yourself, there's always stuff you can learn. Let me let these people pass on by. Wow, that sun went down. So look at this shot from here. The sun is behind the mountains now. It's still, hasn't gone all the way down. There's still enough light in the sky, but it's not as bright. This is a great time to take pictures right now. All right, folks, I got to wrap this up. I don't want to. I feel like staying out here forever, but it's time to go. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Like I said, keep it locked here to the Coach Eli, Elias Melas channel. And lots more content coming to really help you folks better yourselves as much as possible. I really want to help as many people as possible learn what I've learned, hopefully a lot sooner than I did. And that way you can even have some of the things that I probably won't have before my time comes, right? Maybe some of you want a family, right? You want kids, you want to get married, you want some other things that, for me, I'm a little older now, so, some things are just not possible anymore. But hey, I'm content with that, right? Maybe that's something that you don't have to be content with yet because you're still young enough. But you're going to reach a certain age where it's not going to be as possible or not possible. And they can really help you folks learn to become more content. I don't know, I just heard something really loud when I walked past over here. I don't know what it was. That was kind of weird. Anyway, have yourselves a great day, folks. We'll see you all tomorrow. Well, stay tuned for that video, the pre-recorded video coming up within a few hours. Take care. Bye-bye. We're out. Peace out.